Ekiti. He's from Ekiti, anyways. He's going to tell us more about himself. But he's a friend that I'm so proud to identify with. He's here. Sola Mathew is his name. How are you doing, brother?
I'm fine. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Sola.
Welcome.
You see, people probably don't know the reason you're here, but I want you to, in very many words, don't use few words,
All
and
right.
tell us the reason you are on the show today.
Okay. Basically, I'm here to share my story.
Hmm.
So that is why I'm here.
What is it about your story? Why is it that you think that your story deserves to be heard? Why should people buy into your brand? Why should people want to know about you, Shola?
Okay, just like every typical Nigerian, I was born in Nigeria.
Hmm.
Of course, not abroad. I was born in Nigeria, in the northern part of Nigeria, which is Taraba State.
Wow,
To be
wow.
precise, in Jalingo, that's the state
This
capital
is
of
capital.
Taraba State.
Yeah.
But I'm from Ekiti here
Okay.
in Ekiti State. So my dad was a soldier, and my mom was a trader and tailor. So I call her T Square.
To square, a trader and a teller. Yeah.
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 So, but then one thing that is worth sharing about my story is the fact that in 1996 I lost my dad, and
Wow.
yeah, and I had to be raised by a single mother. I remember then my eldest brother came back from Ekiti to Taraba State to tell. He just came and we were surprised that why were you in North? So he went to meet our pastor, and then the pastors and the elders they came to our house, and you know they just told my mom, and I just felt like my mom was crying. I went in to know what was
What was
happening
wrong? Hmm.
here. So it was then I got to know that my dad was late, and I also cried. You know. So we were growing up like that, and my mom, after about 7 years or thereabout, that's 2003, my mom too remarried. And
Okay.
on the 10th of January 2004, she gave birth to a bouncing baby boy, which is my step brother.
Brother.
Then after that, immediately after giving birth to him, I heard that there was overflow of blood and all of that, and then she also died. So because of that, we had to move back to Ekiti State, to Ekiti here. I thought we were even going to go back to Taraba State, but I had to stay here. So it was my aunt, Mrs. Fallon, who took us in with her family, and we were there for the first time in my life. I had to go to the farm. I had to do bricklayer job. I was 14. I had to do bricklayer job.
That was in 2003.
That was 2004.
2004. Okay.
Yes, I was doing bricklayer job just to make ends meet. So, um, and one day I went to visit my cousin, Femi Falan, that is his name, at Ado Grammar School. And then I met one woman, Mrs. Ige, and she was asking what was wrong with me, why am I sitting under this banana tree? So I told her that I came to see my cousin. She went to find out if it was true, and of course it was true. And then she started asking me, how about your mom? How about your dad? Why are you not in school?
Apparently, she never knew that you had lost your parents.
Yes.
Hmm.
So, but anytime somebody asked me such questions at that point, I began to cry. So I began to cry, and she was, what's happening? And then I told her that my parents were late. So she took me to her office. She asked if I had eaten. I said yes, but she insisted she bought 10 naira rice for me, and I ate it. And then that was she was instrumental to me getting admission to the school without much fee. She paid up the fee actually. So I went through school like that. Along the road, I was still doing this bricklayer job and some other things, just to buy textbooks and at some point pay my school fees. There was a particular day I was sent out of class because of 500 naira.
Wow.
But eventually,
That was in 205.
around that period, the 204, 205.
Hmm.
So, but because I was brilliant in secondary school, and I had a talent. I could sing when I was leading the assembly song and some of the other things. So I caught the attention of some teachers, and when I got to SS1, um, there was a particular time we had a PTA meeting.
Okay.
So they were asked. It was during the time of Principal. Afe. His name is Mr. Gio Afe. So he asked if there was any student who wanted to say something. So I told them that I want to encourage parents to buy textbooks for their children
Mm,
and all, because one of the major things that set me back at that time was because I couldn't afford to buy textbooks.
mm,
And so I had to borrow at some point or go to the library. And in the libraries, you don't really have all the textbooks that
mm.
you wanted. So as I was saying that, I began to cry. So one of the teachers, even my class teacher, Mrs. Obinde, now began to ask her, so you never told me this before. I never knew. And she started paying my school fee. She started paying my school fee. So in this same secondary school, that was where I met another teacher, Mrs. Adenigoyi.
Mm.
And later on, she asked if I would stay with her. Before that time, there was a teacher who wanted me to stay with him, but my aunt did not accept. But this one, she said, if it's God's will that she's going to accept. And
Now, so while all of this was going on,
yeah,
how many are you? Let's start from that. You have a brother, another brother.
yes, yes,
Do you, and then your step brother.
yes, yes.
Just three of you.
No, we are. I have four siblings. We are a sister and three elder brothers. I'm the last one.
You're the last child.
Yes,
So you all are five,
yes, yes,
apart from your step brother that you told me about.
yes, yes.
So while all of this was going on, where were they? Were you just all by yourself? Because from your story, you made me understand that you opt, you did a bit of bricklaying and some other stuff.
Yeah.
Where were they? What were they doing?
Okay, they too were struggling on their own.
Mm,
I remember that then my mom had wanted to relocate back to Ekiti,
mm,
but it was when I went to serve in Taraba State that her friend told me this,
mm,
that she had wanted to relocate. And I remember that I was even in Ekiti for a whole year.
mm,
I was in primary five then.
mm,
But at that time, my eldest brother could not afford to take care of us. Sometimes we have to go to, around this Christ school, there's a place where we take this cocoyam, they call it
oh,
cocoa Ghana.
mm,
So we have to pluck those things to eat sometimes. So I think my mom could not stand that she wanted to also bring her own burden to her
mm.
children, and so she had to go back to the north. And I think it was around that time that she now
Get married.
married. Yeah, so they too could not really afford to take care of me, and so they were also struggling on their own part. At a point, my sister gained admission to College of Education in Ferret,
Mm,
but because she could not afford it, she had to drop out of the school. Yes, and sometimes she would be the one to give me 20 naira to go to school. So they all were also having their own challenges. Yes, so that was the reason.
Okay, now fast forward to the present time. You are no longer that child that was okay.
Yeah,
You're no longer the child that struggled to actually go to school. As of the last, conversation we had, you graduated. You went
yes,
to the university,
yeah,
and that's good. But that's not actually, what I call the icing on the cake regarding your story.
yeah.
You have become somebody that I could call an inspiration. You wrote a book a couple of maybe like a year two ago,
Yes, I launched in 2018.
2018,
Yeah,
and it went global because
yeah,
from the little that I've scooped about the book, I think it's one of the best sellers that we have around now.
yes, yes. It's one of the best sellers on Amazon.
Amazon, which
Yeah.
which means that it's not iri kekere. It's really a big thing, and I'm sure that in that book you probably told a lot of people about your story, and
Definitely.
and then you decided to probably have an initiative, go global initiative. Am I right?
Okay, I have a foundation. It's
Okay,
Christianity Foundation.
okay.
Go Global Solutions is my business.
Definitely, Christianity like has to be your mother's name, I guess.
Yes, yes,
you,
you're
you you
right.
still you're still thinking about mom like that because you were so close to her while she was there, I believe.
Yes.
So now you're here today, not just to talk about what you do,
Okay.
but also young individuals out there
Mm-hmm.
who are going through stuff that
Mm-hmm.
you probably, I mean, the same route that you have taken in time past.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to just, as much as possible, the floor is yours now.
All right.
Just talk to people because I believe that young individuals out there who have lost hope.
Mm-hmm.
I will quickly shock you. I have a friend who really have lost her parents too. I have to use the word have, and I know that she's not really fine.
Hmm.
A word for that, please.
Okay, it's not really easy for someone to lose his or her parents. Even when there are some people who even have parents. While I was in school, there are some people who had have parents, but they are not really doing well. So talk less of someone who lost his or her mom or both parents. So that is one of the things I particularly wrote about in my book, that you are not alone.
Mm,
There's a chapter in the book where I said you are not alone. There is a friend of mine, his name is Timmy Olonishaye.
mm.
In 2008, uh, he lost his eyes. He
Wow.
was not born blind. Yes,
Mm,
he lost his eye. And we met at a coaching center where we were preparing for job.
mm,
And this guy really is one of my biggest inspiration today.
mm,
He, after losing his eye, he had to go back to the school of deaf and blind at Ekiti
mm,
to start learning how to write.
mm,
This was not really easy for him. But then he passed through that jam. He went to University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and he just completed his MSc at University of Ibadan.
wow.
So, stories like this inspire
They challenge
people.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, while I was in school, I had some challenges. This guy was always there. If he could do it, I also believe that I can also do it. So that is just one. And there are a lot of people too who I would have shared their story, but maybe they've not permitted me to do that.
Yeah.
But personally, for my own story, I've gone through some challenges
Mm,
that if I share, it's not even as challenging as some other people's
mm,
story. I'm just probably privileged or graced
mm,
to be here to share my own
mm,
story.
mm, mm,
I remember there was a particular time I was in school and I was very, very hungry. I was famished. There was no food. There was no money to buy anything.
mm,
And from morning to evening, I did not taste anything.
mm.
And around 11 p.m., I was so famished that I had to go and plug my right mango to it.
Wow.
Yes, I just plugged the right mango. I plugged it and then I prayed on it, ate the unripe mango, and you know drank water on it, and I slept off.
Mm,
So there were challenges in
mm,
school, but
mm.
you don't allow your challenges to determine your future.
Okay.
You don't allow your background to put you on the ground.
Mm,
There's something people ask me that what that's one particular question that I always have, that people usually ask me.
mm,
They say, "What has been keeping you going
mm,
despite those challenges?" And I tell them that I set my eyes on the future.
mm,
Right now, I'm not where I'm supposed to be yet,
mm.
right? But I'm not where I used
You
to be.
used to be. Mm.
Yeah. So I set my eyes on the future, and I believe that I'm getting there.
You heard it already, and guess what? This kind of a story should get us dancing because I can tell you that not very many people had this experience and then got out of it the way he has. He's a success. Guess what? I'll be back after now. Enjoy this one from Tenny. Tenny is saying, "Oh, your mayor." If you know what that means, you definitely will celebrate with this, my daughter. This is Sola Mathew on the 6th. This afternoon, we're having what I call a tete-a-tete. He's a guy that really has inspired me. His story is such that you also need to, as much as possible, identify with. We'll talk about his book when I return. You just stick around, don't touch this down. Ending anytime soon. So, Shola,
Yeah.
let's now talk about your book.
Okay.
Um, First and foremost, I have been there before.
Yeah.
That's the title of the book.
Hmm.
I know that definitely something influenced, but it inspired the choice of that title first and foremost.
Yeah.
And then the content of the book, having read a couple of it, I know that those were moments, experiences, and things that you ever went through in life.
Mm.
Just help us, shed more light on that.
All right. So it was actually 2015. I was one of the escorts at RCF Exu,
Okay.
and so we were having a meeting, and then I just got the inspiration. It was just more like an insight from God that write a book, and the title is "I've Been There Before,"
Hmm.
and I was like, "I've been there before," so I began to write it, and there's someone who has been there before, which I'm
Mm.
going to also talk about in a short while.
Mm.
But then it's my story
Mm.
that I should share my story. I didn't know what was going to be the content, maybe like chapter one, chapter two. But
Mm.
at that point, I began to write down the outline of the book.
Mm.
So, the chapter one talked about my background, where I shared my story of how I was born,
Mm.
my late mom, my dad being a soldier, and then my childhood experiences. And even talked about one of my first love stories.
That's beautiful. I mean, I would like to read that part. That's good.
Yeah. So there was this particular girl that we were in school together, and I fell in love with her, but I was always timid to talk to her. My friends would push me. Sometimes I would just get there, wanted to talk to her, but they check the
I think we have some similarities.
story. you know. But something happened later on. When my mom died, I had to relocate back to Ekiti, so we lost contact. But eventually, when I got her contact, I think that's something to find out in the book.
Okay, that's something to find out in the book.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So chapter two, I talked about um, you are not alone. I'm not pretty sure. Let me check. So chapter two, I talked about you are not alone,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
then that place, that's where I said I shared the story of some of my friends
Hmm.
who had their own challenges.
Hmm.
For example, I talked about Timmy,
Hmm.
and there's not me. They wrote the story themselves,
Hmm.
and I also shared the story of one of my friends who lost her father. Her
Hmm.
name is Omobolale.
Hmm.
And this lady, even while in school, she was working with several NGOs. She was
Hmm.
struggling. She
Hmm.
had to make, pay her school fees and do so many things herself.
Hmm.
And in another chapter, I talked about gifts and character.
Hmm.
In
Hmm.
that place, I talked about the fact that your gifts can
Hmm.
open doors for you,
Hmm.
but it is your character that
Yes.
is going to keep those doors open.
Hmm.
So you could be talented, be a good speaker, you can be a talented musician, and all of that. You can be brilliant, but if you don't develop your character, definitely you might lose all of those things eventually.
Hmm.
So, and so many other things. I talked about role players in my life,
Hmm.
all the people, not all of them, but most of the
Most
people
of the
who
people.
had helped me in life to
Hmm.
get to where I am. I
Hmm.
talked about my guardians and
Hmm.
also my parents,
Hmm.
my friends, talked about them. Then there's a particular chapter, I think chapter 4, Academics is not your life,
Hmm.
the message that almost destroyed my academics. You
Hmm.
know, in school, especially in XU, some of the people who attend XU, especially Christians, will probably understand this particular thing I'm about to talk about. In school, when people get to school, they have this message that academics is not your life. So some people begin to be lazy about their academics, and they feel that it is only God who can take care of your academics. You
Hmm.
don't have a role to play.
To play.
Yeah, and then some other people think that academics is more like a Babylon, that is the thing of the world.
Hmm.
And this kind of
Wow.
mindset
Wow.
affects, in fact, so many people dropped out of school at that point because of that particular message. But
Hmm.
God helped me, and I was able to
Beautiful.
get out of that.
Beautiful.
And I also talked about it's not the end,
Hmm.
where I shared that um, even though this story is not the end,
Yeah.
definitely,
Yeah.
but then I talked about the traveler,
Hmm.
that we in this life we are just like travelers.
Hmm.
For example, you might be going, maybe you just take a bus together with someone,
Hmm.
and along the road, your boss might develop a fault, and
Hmm.
you thought that you have already left those people behind,
Hmm.
and then those people will just pass through you,
Hmm.
and then they will move ahead of you.
Hmm.
But that does not mean that they will also get to their destination before you,
Hmm.
because you could probably repair your own doors and then
Catch up with
also
them.
catch up with them, and
Hmm.
then so that is the same way life is.
Hmm.
We might graduate together in university, but we might not all get jobs at the same time.
Hmm.
Those people that get job does not mean that you might not get your own job and then still pass them.
Hmm.
We could get married at the same time,
Hmm.
but it doesn't mean that we are
You,
all going to
you have
get
kids at the
pregnant.
same
And
time. Hmm.
yeah, so we are just like travelers, and that is one of the reasons I don't really compare my life with anybody. If I compare my life with anybody, it's going to be myself. I want to be better than the person I was yesterday.
Okay, you should know that the book is already, out there in different stores, and that you could get it to read it. I've been there before, finding purpose in the midst of your challenges. Great, great work of art. Very inspirational. I can tell you that. You just might need to go out there. and lay your hands on it and read something. One of the things that we don't do very,
Mm.
very readily and enthusiastically in this part of the world is that we don't read books. But I tell you, this book is not that big.
Mhm.
I mean, in a day, you should be able to finish this book if you are very rapacious a reader. You should finish this in a day. So I will beg you, just a six chapter book. So
Yes.
in less than 4 hours, I'm sure you should be able, to finish this. So I want you to please make these uh, a part of your life. I know you're going through stuff. One of the things that we set out to do with this our organization is to make sure that we inspire people, is to make sure that we encourage people, is to make sure that every day we find reasons to give you things that will encourage you and make you feel better. And that's why we brought Sola Mathew, into the building this afternoon. And it's really, really challenging some of the stories he shared. He shared some with me, behind the scenes, and uh, I think I may probably tell you myself, but the ones that is shared with you, I want you to please, as much as possible, make use of them. Now, should you have a question for him, this is the time for you to pick your phones and dial it, and then have a conversation with Shola Matthew. Is the writer of I've Been There Before, a young individual really trying to carve a niche for himself, because you could call him an orphan. Yes, he is. He doesn't have a father nor
Mhm.
a mother, but is still trying his best to make life count. And like I told you, his book is one of the best sellers on Amazon. So what does that tell you? He's doing great things for himself. Shola, as you go today, I just need you to tell somebody something out there. There's somebody out there that really wants to hear something from you.
Mm.
Maybe all that you've said, the person hasn't heard it. The person just needs to hear something that the person would know that, okay, that actually came out for me.
Yeah.
Maybe God has to speak through you now,
Yeah.
but I know that there's something that you should say that will engineer a reformation, a transformation in the life of one individual out
All right. This morning I actually prayed about it and I said, God, I want to go and share my story. I
there.
don't just want people to listen to my story. I want people to see me in my story.
Mm,
And there are three things that I always encourage anybody to have, for you to be great in life. I know I'm not yet great, but I've studied several people and I found out that these three things are peculiar to them too. Number one is that you have God. Know God for yourself. It's not about, listening to one pastor. I'm not saying pastors are not, God has used a lot of pastors for me, but know God for yourself. Either you're a Muslim or a Christian, just ensure
mm.
that
Develop a culture of having a daily conversation with
yes,
God.
yes,
Mm,
have a relationship with
with
God.
Him. Mm,
Yes, yeah, have a relationship with God. And
mm,
the second thing is get knowledge. So, you were saying something about we not having a culture of reading.
mm,
You must get knowledge. So I
mm.
will have said you should read books, but knowledge, you get knowledge through reading books. You get knowledge through attending seminars, to buying courses,
By
and
traveling too.
by traveling too. In
Mm,
fact, I love traveling a
yeah.
lot.
Mm.
So get knowledge. Knowledge is very, very
And
important.
that's education.
Yes, education.
That's education.
In fact, education, according to the Jewish phenomenon, the
Mm,
book I'm currently reading, the Jewish phenomenon says that education is one thing that you buy and it lives with you forever.
mm,
That's why many people, successful people, they'll tell you that they have libraries in their house.
mm,
So get knowledge,
mm,
very, very important.
mm.
And the fourth thing that I want to talk about is have a mentor. First is have God, know God for yourself. Second, get knowledge, acquire knowledge by all means. The Bible is saying that by all your getting, get knowledge. It's very, very important. It said, buy knowledge and sell it
Selling
not.
out. Yeah.
Very, very important.
Mm,
So the third thing is have a mentor.
mm,
If you're trying to become a digital marketer
mm.
or you're trying to become a radio personality
Somebody has gone
like
there.
Dynamo,
Somebody has gone there before you.
yeah, somebody has been there before.
Mm,
And like I was saying the other time, this book, I've been there before. I'm not really the one that's been there before.
Mm,
Even God Himself was there before. He sent His Son to come and die for us. It
mm,
was painful for someone to be hung on the tree,
mm,
but He still did all of that because of the love He had for us. So
mm,
He has been there before. He
mm,
knows our weaknesses.
mm,
So I could talk to Him and He could listen to me. You
mm,
understand? So that is why it is very, very important
mm.
that you have this three things. So I know you're listening to me right now. Just ensure that these three things are in your life, and I assure you that you're gonna get there.
You're gonna get there, brother. You're gonna get there, sister. Thank you so much, Shola, for coming. It's an
You're
honor
welcome.
having you on the show today.
Welcome.
Thank you so much, and do have a great day ahead of you.
You too.
Don't forget to keep inspiring people. Don't forget to keep encouraging people. Don't forget to keep living a life that is worthy of emulation. Thank you so much. God bless you.
You're welcome.
Okay, that'll be it, guys. And you just listened to Shola Mathew. Like I told you, his story is such a very intriguing and interesting one. Oh yeah, Jaffe Ebo, like you gonna lose a leg. Èmi ò gbé èbò mọ́ o.